Data types tell machines how to treat a particular item of data. For instance, my zip code used to start with a 0, and only by knowing that zip codes were actually text do we not end up with some 4-digit zip codes and some 5-digit zip codes. Here are some common types that you're likely to see and what they mean. The first is integers, which, recalling your high school math, it just means whole numbers. 100, -5, 818,090, these are all going to be integers. If there's going to be a decimal on that, it's going to be a decimal, but also it could be called a float or a double. Double meaning double precision number. This is any number, including 0.5, -0.3332, or 10,005,923.4. Text is commonly referred to as a string, and it's one or more characters, and you can use numerals as text, or you can use, obviously lowercase, uppercase letters. Dates frequently come in just date form, or they might come with hours and minutes, seconds, milliseconds, nanoseconds. They might come in a variety of formats, and actually sometimes are a little bit of a pain in data science. Finally, the last common one you might hear is a Boolean, which just means it's a binary variable or a special way to say true or false. It can only take a 1 or a 0, a true or a false. These data types are important in data science because you do need to think about what you're getting and what data types you want for your numeric variables, which are continuous, representing numbers in a range, and which ones are categorical, which means representing distinct categories. For instance, $5 is always more than $1 by 5x, but coming in first place isn't necessarily a multiplicative or additive relationship to coming in fifth place. So maybe we could think of some place values as actually categorical, even though it's actually very literally a number. Changing between these data types based on what you need is important because analytic functions do need the right data type to function. We can see in some examples here where we can make some of these conversions and we cannot make others. We can go from 5 to 5.0 because decimals contain more information than integers. But if we go the other way, 5.5, we can go to an integer, you just lose the 0.5. If we go from 08502 to integer, we lose the 0, and actually now we don't know whether it's 85020 or 08502 as the zip code if we ever converted it wrongly. If we try and convert 1 Joe to integer, you'll see a failure. If you see 1st Jan 2022 and try and convert it to date, you'll see failure. Why? Because these are non-readable formats in the Python or R or whatever language you're using. And frequently you'll have to debug that and try and figure out why it's failing, clean up the text, and then actually convert it correctly. As a little bit of an example, we can see here a sample data set where we have zip codes that got coded as numbers. We have units. We have dollars that got coded as text because there were commas. And we finally have this cost column. So if we go and find this type conversion operator, we can see what it looks like to convert several different types of text or data types. First, we probably want to go from zip code and we want to convert it to a text. In the original case, if we tried to show a chart, which was the average units by zip code, we get something a little bit funny looking because these are continuous ranges. And instead, after we convert it to text and we go and say, I would like to have the same units table, we can see that this is a much more sensible chart for zip code than the continuous version of the same. Next, we take a look at this dollars column and we say, I'd like to convert this into integers. We immediately get an error because we failed to parse this. Python in particular is unable to handle the comma, and so having seen this error, I now know that I need to replace the comma in the dollars column with a blank. once I do this, I can bring this data set in here, and I can see that dollars has now successfully changed into a number. So whereas previously this chart looked like this, where it's not actually a continuous amount, we see now that dollars, this is now a histogram as if it were a number. Then we go here and we say cost. Oh, this is another conversion. I know how to do this one. So we put this in here and we say, let's convert cost to a number as well. Well, we come in here, we take a look at this. We say, in addition to dollars, let's also take cost and turn it into, and we get this result where the string C is not of a type. We can see that from this error message that we get, we need to find the C, which is very obvious and clear here. And we can remove that C where a cost does not contain a C. And once we remove that C, we can see that this these can go and play. We run this through, and this is now successfully also a number. So playing around with data types seems like a trivial exercise, and for most of your life, you probably didn't really think about the data that you were seeing as very hard to type. But this is actually one of the more core pieces of data cleansing, and in most data science projects, you'll probably have to think about what types you need for your key variables and code them appropriately.